This whole project was a mistake. I started whatever you can call this project to be self-reflective. That is where my practice has been lately. Not that my personal life is exciting enough to be the subject for an interesting artwork. I'm at the time of my life as a young artist where not only am I terribly uninspired, but I do not enjoy making work. And because I'm not confident enough to act on my urge to leave my program that I'm in and stop making art for a while, I have become the own subject for my work for the time being. Recently, I've experienced significant mental developments, let's call them that have made me question and analyze myself like nothing before. There is no exaggeration in saying my life has been changed forever. My existence and my perception of the world were things I've always in flux, and I've always thought about on some level and wrestled with them, but I've never doubted them before. That doubt is now real and constant. And in those constant thought spirals, I start thinking again about how I appear in the world, around awkwardness, around being looked at and looking at other people. Gazes are confusing because they can mean so many different things, even simultaneously, or they can mean nothing at all. Regardless, a gaze is always an inquiry, regardless of what intention is or is not behind them, whether it's voluntary or not. You're asking your eyes to give you information about the world around you. I'm writing this current portion of the script on my phone while walking around other people, occasionally glancing up to know where I'm going and watching other people do the same. The way we once visually questioned the world has changed. Technology has externalized our capacity for inquiry, while simultaneously narrowing our field of vision. There are few things one needs to look at the world and think independently when we are constantly plugged into a growing network of knowledge, except for other people. There's no Google search or YouTube video that can give you definite insight into a stranger walking around you. In that sense, the gaze is even more important and displacing than before. The desire to know by looking has largely been replaced with just the desire to look. The capacity for immense knowledge through technology is conflated with having that knowledge be internalized within the self. So when I'm being looked at, I'm no longer being looked at through a lens of inquiry, but through a colored veil of looking and a false sense of knowing. To clarify, this is not a problem caused by technology. A blank sense of looking, colored by past knowledge and biases, has been normal human engagement for quite a while. There was once always space for being wrong. And if you looked at and met with and spoke to enough people, it becomes evident that your immediate sense of knowing is usually never enough. We have phrases like "don't judge a book by its cover" for that very reason. But our way of knowing is different now. You can confirm any opinion, thought, or snap judgment about me before we've ever even seen each other. This virtual inquiry is our new way of looking that flattens the world to come and date the flatness of the screen. Honestly, though, without this fake intellectual talk, I'm just a socially awkward person. Trying to understand every single gaze around me is too difficult and exhausting. So I've long since opted out of engaging with it. So much so that it's ruined visual nuances for me. I have actively ignored people looking at me for so long, it is now harder to tell when one's actually looking at me. Which, take it from me, is not as effective as I thought. People stare longer and harder when they feel you're unaware. For as bad as my vision is, whatever combination of self-consciousness and spatial awareness always presents within me, I always can feel when someone's looking at me about 70% of the time. And it usually takes a look in their direction to make them stop looking, unless they really want something. But if I'm wrong, well, now I'm fucked because I've become the looker now and I've created a visual relationship with this person. The gym is a place where this happens daily for me. Confined indoor spaces make gazes more apparent. I've listed people in my head and unconfirmed statuses of our visual relationships. Shock, confusion, friendliness, attraction, hostility, intrigue, nervousness, etc. These one-sided interpretations bring up so many different feelings. I don't like a lot of attention. Selective attention is fine though. Actually, I like selective attention. There's a sense of excitement and sensuality when I feel like I'm being looked at by an attractive woman. There's also a sense of apprehension in case that I'm wrong. I've been doing more looking than being looked at. It is too much to think while trying to be focused on a workout. It's knowing on another level because these relationships are rarely confirmed or denied. I'm too busy pretending I'm invisible and trying to ignore onlookers as a 6'2", 250-pound man, as if that's realistic in any concept, much less the gym, lifting weights with my body on view. And on the other side of this interaction, I'm never actually approached by people, even if I'm confident in our visual mutual interest. The looks now feel expectant, as I'm supposed to do something. That pressure is heavy for many reasons, but also inconsequential.